the neon lights, we take a stand. Knights and wizards across the land.
It is the 7th day of April. It's Monday. It's 51 degrees. It's the OGGM broadcasting from Site B, joined by Steve the Cat. It's time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game sales, freebies, and bun cake. Remember, as always, unless I specifically say otherwise, these are PDFs, not any physical product. And thankfully, the recent tariff nonsense has not affected the prices of PDF, which is a good thing. Starting off with this week's freebies, and we got Space 1999, the role-playing game from Modiphius. I also just read Modiphius picked up another role-playing game. I used to love this show. Well, I love the vehicles from the show. Modiphius has announced that they have they're getting the thingy. Now they've got a quick start coming for the Space 99 quick start game. It's a 51-page books containing an introductory version of the system, an overview, settings, 6 pre-generated characters, and the adventures breakaway. Did they ever go into what happened to the Earth after the moon just went toddling off on its little adventure? I mean, I have to assume that suddenly losing the moon would have been somewhat devastating to the Earth. I don't know. Did they ever explore that in the mythology? I don't remember. We've got some April Fools, of course, product. I know April Fools is come and gone, but you know, Catalyst Game has some BattleTech stuff out. It got a new BattleTech source book called Experimental Technical Readout, featuring cutting-edge mad science text coming out of the Republic. Not sure how that's April Fools. Maybe some of the, well, it does say mad science, so maybe some of it's goofy. Anyways, if you're a BattleTech guy or gal, there's some free stuff for you. AO Publications released The Red Marsh, an adventure for 5 level 5e characters inspired by the Arthurian legend and Celtic Druidism. And what is that weird noise? It's some kind of truck going by. I don't know. That's whatever it is. It sounds like it needs help. The 4th edition of the OSR retro clone Dark Dungeons is now available from Grub and Troll Games. It's a massive 475-page book. It has everything you need to play this revision of basic BECME rule system, and it's free. 475 books for free? Thank you, sir. You also get the print on demand for $60. Troll Reapers by Playful Raven is a one-shot adventure from Morkborg, sending the players on a troll hunt with the rules for the hunt itself, new traps, and setups for epic chases as opponents flee rather than be defeated. Chase rules in a role-playing game. Yeah. It always inevitably just runs, breaks down to whose dex is higher or who rolls the highest. Yeah. If anybody knows what a role-playing game that has a good chase rule system, please let us know. Pedro Ecija, E-C-I-J-A, Serrano, posted The Adventures of the Secret Admirer for Pendragon. Lady Elise has attracted an unknown suitor sending her loves. Notes, the party is tasked with tracking down the secret admirer, only to discover there's a difficult... Hi, Steve. Was there something outside that got your attention? The I Hunt series expands with Dollars and Draculas, film crews versus dirtbag Draculas from Machine Age Productions. It's a 5e modern-day one-shot that makes the backstory for the campaign as you are filmmakers seeking funds to make your film, but it turned out that the crowdsourcing people are maybe not a little shady. I mean, is this guy pretending to be a vampire? Or is he really a vampire? This is like, I don't know if anybody ever saw it. I think it's Spanish. It was a Spanish zombie horror, and the zombie apocalypse breaks out while they're filming a zombie movie. So nobody gets it for it's like, wait a minute, is this part of the show? Or, which I think would be great. If the zombie outbreak happened while somebody was filming a zombie movie, Over at Dungeon Masters Guild, we have the Paradox Engine, a 5th level adventure that sends the party on a train of the wizard known as the Mad Chronomancer, who seeks out the Paradox Engine, a powerful artifact that has the ability to alter the timeline by rewriting history. What is the first rule? Well, no, I should say it's the third rule. I think rule number 1, when in doubt, make a monster book. Rule number 2, when in doubt, make a Lovecraft book. Rule number 3, never do time travel. Never. We've got some stuff for basic fantasy. Released a number of free products. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new adventures for the basic fantasy role-playing game. And then for the lightning round for terrain and maps and stuff, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Some of them might be April Fool's joke products in there. So just, not like April Fool's like it's going to give you a virus, though. Again, I would remind everybody, please check these for viruses before you open them. But like it's, it's an April Fool's product, so it's going to be silly. Sales this week. Fat Dragon's Game has a sales on drive-thru for terrain. Grab STL files for your 3D printer or pick some printer safe cardboard for your 2D printer to create some wonderful terrain for fantasy, historical, steampunk, and sci-fi and more. Though these are discounted 60%. So you could do 3D printer STL files, or you could do papercraft by just putting in cardboard or whatever. Because you are downloading STL files, again, I would double check for the thingies. Onyx Press has dropped prices for the Changeling, the Dreaming, because it is the 20th anniversary of Changeling, the Dreaming in the World of Darkness. Happy anniversary, Changeling, the Dreaming. 30% off all Changeling, the Dreaming stuff and Chronicles of Darkness stuff. I don't know if it's all Onyx Path or just the Changeling Path stuff. Let's check. Well, it looks like it's the Changeling stuff and the Chronicles of Darkness stuff. There's way more stuff for Changeling and Chronicles of Darkness than I thought. Okay. And then Pathfinder has a markdown on Fantasy Grounds. The Pathfinder Remaster Rulebook Bundle with discounts for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Player Core, GM Core, Monster Core, Player Core 2, NPC Core, Howl in the Wild, and Rage of Elements. Those don't get a core. They're just normal. I guess they have to eventually rename everything, with the core. It's not just going to be Kingmaker. It'll be Kingmaker Core. It won't just be, Rise of the Rune Lords. It's going to be Rise of the Rune Lords Core. Anyways, 50% off. Moving up to the charities bundles. The Darryl Mott charity is still going. This one's to help pay for his post costs and his transportation costs and wound care, physical therapy costs. So if you want to help Darryl pay for his medical bills, the GoFundMe is still going. If you're not familiar who Darryl Mott is, he is the guy who brings us these links every week. So if you remember when he was out in the hospital and they weren't doing these, I tried to do it. And yeah, I pale in comparison to you, Mr. Mott. So get well soon. We've got the Trans Right bundle from Itch.io, another one. It's another mega bundle of ttrpg products, 467 items plus BOSM items from Pazio, Renegade Studios, and Playground Adventures. $5 for the entire bundle. That's $1,750 off. Wow. 99% off. 467 titles for $5. Now, other than the Pazio Renegade stuff, you assume most of it's just, ranges from decent to weird. Like the one about the girl who wanted to be a horse. I mean, Itch.io has some weird stuff on it. This bundle got itself in a little trouble. We'll discuss that in the other section in the news. But yeah, apparently some people took a little bit umbrage with this bundle, and especially with some of the people who were involved with it. And not for the reason you would think, but we do know that stuff we will talk about later. But anything. Map making bundle over at Humblebundle. This is a map making software collection, including Campaign Cartographer 3, Dungeon Designer 3, City Designer 3, Fractal Terrains 3, Perspective 3, Cosmographer 3, Character Artist 3, Dioramas 3, and a whole bunch of other hardcore drafting type programs that may or may not end in the number 3. Now, I don't know if anybody remembers these, but back in the day, Campaign Cartographer was like the shizzle, and that was like major league drafting, world design. You had to like understand calculus list type of program. So to get that plus all these other programs for $30, of course you have to be smart enough to use them, which I wasn't, and I never knew anybody who was, but I have seen people use them. So I know there are people out there who can use them. But yeah, this is hardcore, CAD drafting. It's amazing maps, amazing stuff, but it does require, some high level mathematical types shenanigans. And this is $30 for the entire bundle. It goes to help children's charities. Again, considering how much these programs cost on their own to get them for $30 and a whole bunch of them, that does seem incredibly reasonable. And it helps kids. We've got another 3D printer bundle. This one is from just says Adventures and Adversaries. Maybe that's the name of the company. I don't know. Anyways, it's got a hodgepodge of monsters: vampire, gargoyle, elf ranger, human barbarian, druids, the usual, mostly seems to be humanoids. Miniature bundles for 3D printer, if you happen to have one. And if you do have a 3D printer, and you're going to get this, of course, when dealing with the STL files, again, I have to remind you to please double check them for viruses and malware and all that stuff. And this goes to support tree planting. There's a video game bundle called the Heroic Heroines, Rebel, Curses, and Mystery Bundles, including Pathfinder: The Wrath of the Righteous, along with other titles like Darksiders, Beyond Two Souls, Control, and more. This is for the Girls Who Code Scholarship Program, and it's $12 for some video games. The Catalyst Games Battletech collection is still going. This one is huge with like everything you would ever need for tabletop role-playing games, especially war games, especially Battletech, but some other ones are in there like as well, as like Total Warfare is in there, House Serrano is in there, Alpha Strike is in there, Shattered Fortresses are in there. So it's got a whole bunch of tabletop war games in there. $18. It goes to help food banks. Now, obviously, you still need the figures, but this one's giving you the rules. We've got a tabletop role-playing game audio bundle. $25. It goes to support Care.org. This includes a whole bunch of little, press the button and it makes a noise. Like it's got magic spells, fantasy locations, 80 sound samples, 470 more audio files for a total of 690 tracks of little things like, oh, what is the noise the door makes when you open it? Whoosh, Kobold Press has the Heroic Horde for 5e bundle with new options for your 5e games. 4 books included for $25. It goes to support Make-A-Wish. Includes the VTT files for the same books, Midgar's Hero, The Vault of Magic, The Warlord Grimoire, Underworld Player's Guide, Kobold Guide to Role-Playing, some other books. So basically just enhancement books for 5e. If you feel your 5e characters aren't powerful enough or there's not enough variety, you can pick these up. We've got a Delta Green RPG, VTT, and fiction collection for $25. This concludes Delta Green fiction, which I didn't know existed, but okay, some books set in the Delta Green universe. We've got some Delta Green VTT files for Roll20 and Foundry, and we've got some Delta Green role-playing game books. So about a total of 60 titles. Variety between the books. Now, obviously, for the books, you need an e-reader, so that's double checked for viruses and malwares. For the VTT files, it seems to be for Roll20 and Foundry. Again, because you're installing VTT files, please double check, and the usual. So if you're a fan of Delta Green, there you go. Some fun Delta Green type shenanigans. Let's see what stands out to me this week. Yeah, nothing really just jumps other than my curiosity. Again, does anybody remember in the lore of Space 1999 if they ever explained what happened to the Earth? Did they ever get back to the Earth? I remember like they introduced a very attractive female alien shapeshifter character that a lot of people are like, ooh, she's the best. But other than that, I don't remember much of the show other than the cool vehicles. But yeah, I don't remember if they ever got home or anything. It was a pretty adult show, if I remember. Like, you know, it didn't have any of the usual young, handsome, attractive characters. They were all like Martin Landau, right? And just like normal actors playing like in a normal, serious space show. And yet it was kind of a Saturday morning show, wasn't it? I don't remember. I wish I did. I just remember I liked the spaceships. Anyways, that's it. If any of those sound like something you want to check out the links down below and let me know which one really stood out to you this week. Till next time, have a great day. I'll talk to you later.